What if one ordinary day became the day that changed human history forever? Imagine walking alone through the desert. No crowds, no kings, no armies, just silence. And then you see a fire. A fire that should not exist. A fire that burns but never consumes. What happened next would change one man's life forever and impact billions of people throughout all of human history. Most people remember Moses as a great leader, but before that, he was a fugitive. He had fled Egypt, left behind the palace, left behind power, left behind everything he had ever known. For 40 years he lived as a shepherd in the wilderness, day after day, year after year. It probably felt like his greatest purpose was gone forever, buried beneath the sand of a desert that stretched endlessly in every direction. But God was not finished. He was preparing Moses for something far greater than any palace could offer. Then one day, everything changed. Moses noticed something unusual while tending his flock near the mountain of Horeb. A bush was on fire, but the flames were not consuming it. The fire burned, yet the bush remained completely untouched. Moses could not look away. Something deep inside him pulled him closer. He moved toward it step by step. And then he heard a voice. The music of the world seemed to stop entirely. The voice spoke slowly, deliberately, and with unmistakable authority. Moses, Moses. The voice knew his name. Then came words Moses never expected to hear. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Imagine that moment, the creator of the universe speaking directly to a shepherd, not a king, not a warrior, not a man of fame or influence. A shepherd. God was not impressed by Moses' status or his past failures. God was not looking at his resume or his reputation. God was interested in Moses' heart. And that changes everything about how we understand the way God chooses the people he calls. But what God says next reveals something that few people truly stop to consider. God tells Moses, "I have seen the suffering of my people." Think deeply about those words. For years, the Israelites had cried out under the weight of slavery and oppression. Many had wondered in their darkest moments whether God had forgotten them entirely. But he had not forgotten a single one of them. God saw every tear, every prayer whispered in the night, every moment of pain that seemed to go unnoticed by the world. And now, after all that time, he was about to act in a way that would shake the most powerful empire on earth. When God called Moses to return to Egypt and lead his people to freedom, Moses was terrified. He asked a question that felt completely reasonable given everything he had been through. Who am I to do this? It is a question that still echoes in the hearts of people today. Who am I to do something great? Who am I to make a difference? Who am I to be used by God when I have already failed so many times before? But God did not focus on Moses' ability or his past. God focused entirely on his own power and his own presence. I will be with you. That was the answer. Not a list of Moses' qualifications, but a promise of divine companionship. Then Moses asked one final question. What is your name? And God answered with words that still echo through every generation of human history. I am who I am, not I was, not I will be. I am the eternal God, the God who exists above time itself, the God who has no beginning and no end. The burning bush was more than a miracle witnessed in the wilderness. It was a message sent across all of time. God sees, God hears, God calls, and sometimes the moments that change our lives forever begin with simply turning aside to notice what God is already doing right in front of us.